if I told you how much work it was to do this, well, I hope you'd be pretty happy about it. This was a lot of work. It is amazing, but I think it came out really well. I'm proud of what I did. This crystal, the crystal for this watch, as far as I can tell, I'm sure more than one exists, but we only found one in the world. That's it. That crystal, that's the one. It took forever to get here, but it is correct. These watches, they're beautiful inside. They're so beautiful. It's such a beautiful movement. Let's see what else I do. So it's been, of course, fully serviced and timed and cleaned and all new seals. You were terribly, terribly patient. You were super, super patient, which I very, very much appreciate. So the handset, the original handset for this watch was a little beaten up. This watch did get a little moisture inside of it. You can see it around the outside. But I didn't like the handset because the original handset just seemed kind of, I don't know, it was kind of beat up. So that is a correct, original, new set of vintage hands for this model. And they also took forever to find. It's just a beautiful watch. It's just a beautiful, beautiful watch. These movements. So I can't show you the inside of yours. But this is another one. This is a Seiko Superior movement. And it is, even looking at the inside, you can't get a sense of how beautifully this thing is made. These were really high-end in their day. They were extremely expensive. They were like double the price of, say, an equivalent Rolex. Amazingly well made, and they had some technological advantages that you don't see really in anything except like maybe Accutrons at the time. Because when Seiko came out with these, when they first came out with these, they'd invented the technology. They wanted to make sure that it, was the best of the best. They wanted it to be 100% accuracy, 1 tick per second. And so to make that really happen, they did stuff like, you can kind of see it right in there. That little purple thing right there, that's a little jumper. It's a jewel-tipped jumper to make sure that the second sweep hand goes and stops instantly. Like it goes click and it just stops. Later on, Seiko changed that. They realized they didn't have to do that. It was overkill. So you'll see with like a 754X is they'll wiggle a little bit. The only thing that's making this thing stop is the stepper motor turning. And just the magnetic centering does it by itself. So they kind of wiggle a little bit. But these, they have some other crazy things. I wish I could show you. Underneath, let's see if I can even begin to see it. No, you can't. These have the stepper motor, which is like literally, it's the little magnetic thing it turns for every tick. Most of the time with quartz watches, it's just part of the train, just part of the gear train. It's not like, it's not sort of a special, different piece. It's just part of the train gear. This thing, the stepper motor is in a cartridge that is separately removable that has diafix settings, top and bottom. It's amazingly well made. There's so much work that went into these, and almost no one knows about them. The watches that came after this, like the 44 or whatever the heck they are, the 0903s, the Seiko 4004s, basically, the next generation after this, still great movements, great movements. But these babies were the last of the real high-end pieces. These things, it's just, you look at this, people look at this and they, oh, it's a quartz watch. There's quartz watches, and then there's quartz watches. There's that thing. They're just exquisitely made. And they're also very involved to service. I'd forgotten how much work it takes to service one of these correctly because they're so handmade. Okay, we have one more question to talk about, which is bracelet. So just for fun, I went through and found the 1976 JDM catalog. And at this time, everything was quartz. That's where all the high-end stuff was. Now this bracelet, that is the same one as here. It's a little too wide for yours, but it's just about the same bracelet. If we go over to this tab, you can actually see it. There is your watch. That's it. So it's a slightly different link style. Probably not quite as flattened, but that's what it looks like. It is amazing though, by the way. These, they're always bad. I must have 15 cases for these because they always leaked and they always got ruined. I've actually got a number of these. Got that one in pieces. I have, I think, a couple of those, all ruined. Wow, look at that thing. Now these are really cool. I've never seen one in person. They're neat. Yeah, these ones, they're hard to find. You just don't see them. They're cool though. They've got these applied quartz logos and grand quartz. Worth a lot of money. Well, they should be. They were back in the day. Most people these days don't even know about them. Yep. Okay, well, let's go back to your watch. Let's stop looking at the glory days of Seiko quartz. Let's go back to your watch, which is right there. Okay, so as you saw in that little clip, the bracelet these originally came with was something very much like this, but it was a little narrower. This is an 0634 bracelet. It's just basically, it's about 1 millimeter wider in both this part and also up here. I don't have a way to machine that down. I would have to take it down by hand. But these are actually pretty delicate bracelets. I mean, they're beautifully made and they're comfortable, but they're pretty delicate. So, so both Sabrina and I went through and we looked at all my bracelets and we wanted to give you some choices to choose. So these are all genuine Seiko bracelets. There's one. These are the best ones that we could find, that we liked the most. There's this one, which is basically brand new. And it's on basically brand new, but old, genuine Seiko. It's hard to see because you can't see the other side of it. There's that. And it fell down on the floor again. Wow. So here's this one. Now, this is an unusual bracelet and a cool one too. This is an aftermarket bracelet, but it's made by Stellux. So this was a bracelet you could go to your dealer and buy. But it's solid stainless steel Stellux. Beautifully made. And it fits right in. So, I don't know, it would be nice. If you have any of these that you dig, please let me know. If it were me, if it were mine, I'd probably go with that one. which you can't really see. That's a really nice bracelet. So it's up to you. Stellux. That actually is another Stellux, if I remember correctly. Again, also Seiko. And those are the choices that I really have. I don't think I have another one. Let me just look. Right, we actually did pick out a couple other ones. This one, which is Seiko, is similar to the one that would have come with this. It's a slightly different link pattern, and it hasn't been like flattened like this one has. And you see, that's probably the closest that you're going to get to what it looked like how it would have looked like when it was original. I mean, when it was. See, and that one actually looks really good. The last one I have for you, this is another Seiko quartz. It's original. And these were on a lot of Seiko's 70s and early 80s quartz watches. So I guess let's call it this. What, did you just tell a cat to go F themselves?
No, I said bless you.
Oh, bless you. I thought.
The cutest little kitties.
I heard something else. You.
Wow, no, I said bless you.
Okay. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. You let me know what you dig, and I'll do it. I'm also happy to include this 0634 bracelet, because that's what this is. It doesn't fit because, again, it's a millimeter too wide here and a millimeter too wide here. You'd have to basically machine this off right at a little angle just like that, and also take this down. But if that was done, then this bracelet would work. I'm going to include that with you, and you'll get that. So let's choose. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you let me know.